Check out FlipsideGaming.com for all your gaming needs. Use the promo code HEROES to save 10% on all orders over $10. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to this special edition of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. And there's a little something going on in the market. You may or may not have heard yesterday that Wizards of the Coast did go ahead and announce a whole new format called Pioneer. We did a video on it yesterday with the details, so I'll link that at the end in case you missed it. But because of this new format, a lot of people are going out there trying to pick up cards to participate, and we're seeing a lot of price spikes. Also, we're going to check in on standard price spikes too, because we did just have Mythic Championship 5 a few days ago, and there has been a new banning in Standard Field of the Dead, which is shaking up the format. Quickly before we get started though, just a fast reminder, if you're looking to pick up singles or sealed product or anything at all, check out FlipsideGaming.com. You can use that Heroes promo code, save yourself a little cash. That also supports the channel, which is always appreciated. But without any further ado, let's get into it. We're going to begin with the top 8 standard legal cards that have gained value this week, and actually, some of these are moving up because of Pioneer. I'll point those out when we get to them. Others are moving for different reasons up. Number 8, Vivian Arcbow Ranger goes up $1.29 to $5.28. This is a card that got a lot better with the rotation just generally. Now with Field of the Dead decks leaving, it stands to see more play, like in Simic Food Ramp builds and Jund Adventures. Number 7 is Hydroid Crisis, up $1.80 to $31.36. This is a card that maybe will have some Pioneer potential down the road. It's got a lot of raw power. I haven't seen a lot of people interested in it yet, but that could change. As for right now, let's talk about Standard with this one. Yes, this is in Lands decks, and sure, you might think on one hand it might take a hit because those decks are going away when it comes to competitive Standard. However, these are also in those Food Ramp builds, and those decks are going to become probably even more prevalent now as time goes on. So because of that, yes, this card is still going up in value. Number 6 is Drowned Secrets, up $2.13 to $3.20. Another card that really isn't moving because of Pioneer, but because of Standard. And in this case, this card's been kicking around because there was a mill deck out there that was doing okay. But recently, there's been another deck that adopted this. It's kind of a new take on Phoenix, and it does look like it has some potential. Number 5, Once Upon a Time, up $3.76 to $16.99. So this card is seeing play in a lot of places. First off, tons of Standard play. If you saw Mythic Championship 5, you know that. Also, this is seeing a lot of Modern play. And in Pioneer, Early Brews, this is showing up in a number of places. Hardened Scales, Copycat Combo, Abzan Midrange. This is definitely one to keep an eye on. Number 4, Fabled Passage goes up $5.06 to $17.23, another rare from Throne of Eldraine. Now, we've talked about this card in the Market Watch before. It's become a Standard staple relatively quickly. However, this is also quickly becoming a Pioneer staple. Many of the early Pioneer brews are running this card already. Number 3 is Embercleave, up $12.27 to $16.54. This is a card that was a little undervalued going into the season. It was a Mythic from Throne of Eldraine. And initially, a lot of folks thought maybe it wouldn't be great for Standard. And then when people did think, maybe I want this in a Standard aggro build, aggro decks came out of the gate kind of weak this season. However, Mythic Championship 5 changed all that because the winning deck was Javier Dominguez's Gruul aggro deck running this card. Also, this can show up in Mardu Knights and Jund Midrange. Turns out this is a pretty powerful card in Standard, and especially now with the Field of the Dead banning, this could become more prevalent. Also, this looks like it might see a little Pioneer play. I have seen a Mardu Knights build in that format that is running this, so if that deck can take off, then this card will have another audience looking for it too. Number 2 is Questing Beast. It goes up $16.12 to $37.90. This was an all-star last weekend at Mythic Championship number 5, and again, another card that stands to see more play without Field of the Dead in the environment. More people will be playing adventure builds, and of course those ramp food builds. This fits into both of those, as well as that winning Gruul aggro deck. This has seen a little legacy play so far too. We'll have to see if that sticks. Number 1, Oko Thief of Crowns, up $22.30 to $60.66. Believe it or not, this card was much higher about 48 hours ago. It has been receding pretty rapidly, which isn't too surprising. The spike was very aggressive, and it was spiking for a number of reasons. One of which, it looked incredible at Mythic Championship 5 last weekend. This card was everywhere. Now, beyond that, Field of the Dead leaving means more people might be playing things like those food ramp decks again, and this card, again, could become more prevalent like so many others. Also, this is seeing play in Modern quite a bit. Legacy and Vintage, people are trying it out in a few different decks there. And, yep, Pioneer as well. There's a lot of early Pioneer brews running this. Dredgeless Dredge, Bant Spirits, Copycat Combo, Aetherworks Energy, and more. Okay, let's move on to the top 20 Pioneer cards that have gained value this week. These are cards that are not standard legal, but are moving up because of the excitement around Pioneer right now. Couple quick notes though. One thing I wanted to point out was some of these cards actually started going up in value before the announcement. Partially, that could have been a little bit of insider knowledge. People working with or close to Wizards decided that maybe they wanted to pick up some cards. I don't know. Also, there could have been some data mining of the Wizards tournament system. Regardless though, keep a close eye on these prices. They are spiking pretty heavily. They are moving quickly, and they're going to change a lot because as people start to play the format, it actually goes live on Magic the Gathering Online tomorrow. We're going to get a better idea of which cards are actually good, which decks are actually good, which are not as good as people thought. There's going to be cards that we didn't even think about that will spike, I'm sure. And there's going to be cards that we think are going to be great that aren't going to be so good, and they're going to go back down. So if you're thinking of buying cards or getting involved in the format, my advice would be just stay really close to the market. Number 20 is Inspiring Vantage. It goes up $1.25 to $4.56. Okay, 4 out of the 5 of these Kaladesh lands will be on our list today. This is the first one, and it completely makes sense. They're going to be an important part of the mana base for this new format. Remember, you don't have fetch lands, you don't have canopy lands, you do have shock lands, you have these, but these are going to become much more critical compared to their role in Modern right now. Number 19 is Hallowed Fountain. Speaking of shock lands, this is the original one from Dissension. It goes up $1.51 to $27.87 this week. This is the only shock land that we see on the list today. However, the prices are relatively inflated on these already because they are standard legal right now. But a possible reason this one is moving as much as it is right now is because this is going to be part of the mana base for the Copycat Combo deck as well as the Aetherworks Energy decks in Pioneer. Out of the gate, those could potentially be some of the stronger decks in the format. Number 18 is Spell Queller, up $1.96 to $9.21. One of the interesting things you're going to notice as we go through this list, a lot of the cards that are moving are cards that either performed very well in Standard during their time or are good Modern cards. That's because that's what people have to refer to as they're tackling this new format. So you're going to see a lot of cards here that look familiar. This is one of them. This one is already showing up in Copycat Combo, Control Builds, Azorius, and Bant Spirits. Number 17, the Scarab God, up $1.98 to $16.36. Very powerful card during its time in Standard. You kind of see the trend here. And this is a card that some people are throwing in some zombie builds already. I do think it's going to show up in some other places too. There's a lot of raw power here. Number 16, Spirebluff Canal. Here's another one of these Kaladesh lands. It goes up $2 to $7.99. And number 15 is Blooming Marsh, up $2.54 to $5.83. Number 14, Emrakul, The Promised End. It goes up $3.28 to $25. Already being brewed into Aetherworks Marvel Energy and Golgari Delirium, which actually looks pretty good too. And this is a powerful card. You gotta wonder if something like this could get banned down the road. There's a number of cards I am a little worried about that happening to. This is one of them. Aside from that, I do want to point out this is from Eldritch Moon. And Eldritch Moon might kind of be like your Lorwyn block when it comes to Pioneer, because this was a set that was really not selling very well at the time. It was a small set, so it was drafted less, and typically small sets just sell less anyway. And it was pushed up against Eternal Masters, so a lot of people were putting their resources into buying that product. This is not the last Eldritch Moon card we're going to talk about today. Number 13 is Thoughtseize. This is the Theros copy of the card, though, up $3.38 to $18.50. Traditionally, this version of the card has lagged behind the others. I mean, the art style is a matter of preference. However, there's a higher print run when it comes to this because the Theros set was printed very highly. Now, with that being said, this is a card that I do think could potentially catch up or almost catch up to those other copies because now you have a whole new audience trying to pick it up. When it comes to Pioneer, this will show up in Control Builds, Mono Black Devotion, Golgari Delirium, Abzan Midrange, Rally Zombies, Mardu Knights, and probably a lot more. Number 12 is the last Kaladesh land that hits the list today. It's Botanical Sanctum. It goes up $3.83 to $7. Number 11, I think they created Pioneer just so I could keep talking about Teferi, Hero of Dominaria in these videos. Here he is going up $3.99 to $24.95. And yeah, I'm pretty sure this will see some play in the new format. Definitely something I'd be interested in trying out in Control Builds. Number 10 is Grim Flyer, up $4.90 to $9.99. Notice another Eldritch Moon card here. This was another all-star in Standard during its time, and I do think this could be very good in the Pioneer environment. Already we're seeing this in Golgari Delirium Brews and Abzan Midrange. Number 9 is Collected Company, up $5.26 to $17.18. You know what this card does in Modern. It's very good. Stands to reason. It should be pretty good in Pioneer too. I've already seen people throwing this into Bant Spirits builds. Number 8 is arguably the best vehicle they ever made. Smuggler's Copter up 594 to 775. This being colorless will lend itself to a lot of different strategies. I've already seen it in brews like Abzan Midrange, the Spirits builds, Golgari Delirium, Dredgeless Dredge, and Affinity. Number 7 is Saheeli Rai up 651 to 1497. One of the first cards to kind of take off when the word started to get out about the format, even actually before the word got out before the format. And that is because potentially the Copycat combo deck could be very good, maybe one of the better decks. This card is very hot because of that, but it has retracted a little bit in the last few hours. Number 6 is Torrential Gearhulk up 664 to $10, one of the big players in Standard during its time period. So again, that trend continues. And yeah, a lot of brews with Copycat Combo are running this, as well as some control builds. Number 5, Dig Through Time. Yep, this is a card that is banned in Modern, banned in Legacy, restricted in Vintage, but so far anyway, very legal in Pioneer. Khans of Tarkir goes up 557 to 695. Ultimate Masters goes up 680 to 824. Great card for control builds. Also, I'm seeing it show up in Emery Ascendancy already. Number 4, Liliana the Last Hope. Again, another Eldritch Moon card there, up 731 to 3989. This has been a decent card at times in Modern as well as Legacy. Again, stands to reason, should be good in Pioneer. And I do think this will be great in Golgari Delirium. Number 3, Aetherworks Marvel. I mentioned earlier that Aetherworks Marvel Energy could be one of the big decks out of the gate. Because of that, this card has been very hot, going up 866 to 999. Now, this is another one that spiked early and has already seen a little retraction, so keep that in mind. Number 2, Deathrite Shaman. This is a card that's banned in Modern, it's banned in Legacy, but at least so far, again, yep, you can play it in Pioneer. Return to Ravnica, up 882 to 1167. Eternal Masters, up 988 to 1320. Guilds of Ravnica Golgari Guild Kit goes up 1014 to $13. This has been in early brews like Dredgeless Dredge, as well as Abzan Midrange, but I can see this card showing up in a lot of places. There's a lot of power behind it. Number 1, Jace Vryn's Prodigy, up 2375 to 4379. That is quite a jump. Now, this card actually was one of the big cards of the Frontier format, and a lot of people are drawing parallels between the Frontier format and the Pioneer format. Not just the name either, but it's just a reference point. It's something that people can understand and wrap their head around. Because of that, this card took off right away when people learned about Pioneer. Now, I have no doubt this was the early control play. Actually, I saw a pretty interesting looking Grixis control deck list running this card. Alright, that covers Pioneer so far, but we're going to talk a lot more about this format in the future for sure. And like I said, stay close to the market because prices could be shifting even before this video comes out, just because everything is so turbulent right now. But until next time, hey, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon and have a great day.